Oh, wow. Right. Oh, my God. We've got a lot to talk about today, so let's jump into it. Hello, everybody. I'm Roadblock, and this is a Raid Shadow Legends video. I'm going to try and talk a little bit faster in today's video and try to ramble a little bit less. I know that's hard for me, but we have a lot to cover, and rather than draw it out over a couple of videos, I just kind of want to stay focused. You're also going to see me talk this out in real time. I have an idea of what I want to say, but I'm analyzing this kind of in real time because I just feel like that's the best way for you guys to really understand my process, right? I can pre-plan and write out what I want to say, but sometimes when I do that, it's just coming off as gospel and maybe I don't explain why, right? I'm just like, hey, you need to follow what I'm doing and not explain why I want to do what I want to do. So I have pulled up the Kassandra plan here and basic event that we have going on. We've got 4, 4, 4, and 4, right? So 200 total fragments available if you do every single event. But then we have this summon rush down here with an additional 50. Now, if I was to do that summon rush, I could skip 2 events up here, but it gets kind of tricky. I'm not going to go, this isn't going to be a whole breakdown video. I probably won't do one for this fusion, but I did kind of want to point out that, we have our events and we want to try and do as many of them as we can. But what makes it kind of tricky is the summon rush being there, but also the fact that we are doing a 2 times sacreds right now. For a very early game account, 2x sacreds is great, right? It's your best odds of pulling a legendary pretty much from anything in the game, on a random chance. 12% is the highest that you're gonna find, right? However, my game is kind of developed to a point where I want very specific champions. I don't just want any old legendary. I want specific types of legendaries. And sacreds are so valuable, not as a way to get champions these days. They're valuable as points in summon rushes, right? Now, in the past, we have seen it used to be 6 sacred shards. Now it's 7 is what we've seen recently. I don't know what they're going to do for Kassandra. I don't particularly think Kassandra is that good, but why am I going for the fusion if she's not that good? On my free-to-play, no less, right? That's could be a big waste of resources. Listen up, I just got a new promo link that you can use to follow along with me on my latest free-to-play adventure and get a free Elenaril as well as 3 more powerful epics as you level up. Here's how to do it. Log out of Plarium Play and uninstall. Click the link in the description and register with a brand new email. Launch Raid and complete the tutorial. Go to your inbox and claim your first champ. Don't miss out on your chance to get Elenaril right after signing up, as well as Fayne, Uugo, and Tagoar as you progress through Raid. Click on my link right now and let's crush this together. Because she's the only champion that we currently have access to in this Argonites faction. That's a big deal. I would rather have her in my faction available for me to use than not have her when the eventual faction wars comes out. So that's important to me that I get her as a champion for faction wars and pretty much only for faction wars. Kind of a waste of resources, but that's the plan. Now, we also know Plarium does have a habit of introducing champions with kits that are not good in the moment, but might be good later on down the road. An example of that comes to mind for me is Lemonisi. Everyone was like, heal reduction? What? We don't want heal reduction. And then, oh, wait, it turned out to be really good in Grim Forest, right? So, no, yeah, I did not log in and get her during that event. So there's a possibility that Kassandra will be good in the future. I will say that if you're expecting her to get buffed, it's only going to happen during this event. I do not foresee them buffing a champion from these events where they have a limited time to use them. I just don't see them buffing those champions later, right? Because they're limited. I don't know. I don't know if they would have to go through anything technically to kind of buff or improve or change those champions, reach out back to Ubisoft and be like, hey, well, we want to fix this champion. So I don't know if they have to do that. Who knows, right? But I just don't think that she's going to be anything too special. But when it comes to faction wars, we don't know what the rest of the champions are going to look like. And we don't know that we're even going to pull any of them. So with that in mind, I don't want to be in a position where I'm trying to beat that faction wars with rares, etc. I would rather have a legendary on the roster, so that's what we're going to do. We are going to go ahead and go for her, but I don't want to waste my Sacred Shard. I need them for the Summon Rush at least, the main Summon Rush, and potentially the later on Summon Rush as well. Now, I can generate Sacreds at a reasonable rate. I do farm Ultra Nightmare. Doom Tower is about to reset. My monthly is just happened, so we're a long ways away from monthly. So maybe not the best chances of generating Sacred Shards, but I want to try and limit my use on them. So we're going to go a different route to complete this event. Now, I could make the argument, and I want to be clear about this. I could say, I'm going to skip the champion chase altogether and just do both summon rushes later. Which I think is a good strategy if you have the Sacred Shards. For me personally, I'm nervous that I won't generate enough Sacred Shards for that second summon rush. And I'm also nervous that I might screw up somewhere. Right? I want this champion, nothing worse than going for a fusion, getting to the end and being like, oh no, I'm 5 fragments short, right? We don't want that. So we're going to go slow here. We're going to take our time. We're going to do everything we can. And if I skip anything, it'll be at the end of the event. Now, that's just my strategy. If you're an efficient person and you're very good on keeping track of everything, by all means, do it how it best suits you, and you guys should be just fine. But for me, I'm not going to. I'm gonna not skip the champion chase. I'm gonna do the champion chase. I'm only planning to pull as many as I need for the 2500 here, just to get the fragments. As tempting as the Immortal Soulstone is, I will not be going for that. So how are we going to do this if we don't plan on pulling any Sacred Shards? Well, I do have a bunch of Ancient Shards. They're not going to be worth a lot of value in this event. Not going to bother using those. But what I do have is I have Urost. I've been saving him for a hot minute. This is a great opportunity to use him. It's a great opportunity to generate a bunch of points. I need room. I know technically we're in a you know what? Let me do the champion training thing. I'll be right back. All right, we made a little bit of room. I just ranked somebody up. I know I could have summoned to the reserve vault, but I don't know. I'm weird. So yeah, let's go back. We're gonna summon Urost here. So, and Urost is worth a lot more points as well because they are a void legendary. So that's 650 points. So we're already off to a really, really good start. I'm gonna try to save, you know what? Let's go ahead and pull these epics too. Because I really, if you think about it, each one of these epics right now, that's one Sacred Shard that I'm saving. Because the Sacred Shard is more than likely, even during a 2x, it's more than likely gonna be an epic, right? Most of the time. So that was a huge savings right there. So if we go to the champion chase, we should be, math is not my, 1100 points right now? 1170, because I think we had 60. Yeah, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so we're at 1170, and we need 2500. So the next thing that I want to do, I have these remnant summons. A void epic would be really, really good. Obviously, a mythical would be insane. If we were to pull a mythical, I would probably lose my mind. But, you know, that's another Sacred Shard saved, and I'll be right back again. All right, we got one more remnant summon here. So 2 regular epics, but that's another 500 points. So we're on our way now in that tournament. I didn't make much of an impact, which is kind of funny. So 1420, so about another 1,000 points. And I've kind of used up most of my options. Do I go right into Sacred Shards now? Because I don't even have my Mercy Tracker up, which is a problem in itself. I'm going to double check and see if that's not been... Yeah, RSL Helper is still down. Kind of in a difficult spot here. I guess I thought I might get a little bit better results out of those pulls. I don't know why I had that in my head, that it was going to be a ton of pulls. Well, either way, I did save myself a bunch of Sacreds. Hitting a Legendary speeds this up super fast, so obviously that's going to be ideal. But the goal is to try and use a minimal amount of Sacred Shards. So here we go. We're going to pop them now. An epic. Okay. I know we'll need several more, but I don't want to go too low because I do want those resources for later. And the question becomes, well, why pull sacred shards at all? You have those ancient shards, blah, blah, blah. Those ancient shards have so much value during their own champion chases when they have their 2x legendary stuff, right? So I don't necessarily want to just throw them away either. It's like a weird trade-off right now to try and balance it out. I will say, so one more sacred and then we'll finish off ancients, because this will just make a big dent and it'll leave me at 7 for the summon rush later, right? That's kind of the magic summon rush. Yeah, we'll go ahead. Oh, let's go. Let's go. Bro, what happened to my luck on this account? Nothing against Drexstar. Pretty reasonable mid-game champion. Not gonna break the bank. And I got him already, of course, right? That's a hard one to swallow. It really is. Because, well, at least it got me there. That one definitely hurt, not gonna lie. I'm pretty upset about that one, guys. All right, so we're over on the main account and we need to tackle this. And I kind of want to do it in a similar way, because while I have the option to buy sacred shards, I hate spending money on sacred shards now. So, you know, I would much rather spend it on primals. You can see that I already got 44 primals back because we had some really good New Year's deals, which is really cool. So I'm going to do very much the same thing over here. I have a lot more remnant summons to play with too. So we've got Hilvi here. We'll go ahead and summon her. I hadn't summoned her yet. I was saving her probably more likely for a clan versus clan, but it makes sense to pop her now because I want to save these sacred shards. We're just making an educated decision. I know that I can generate 400,000 points without pulling shards or summoning certain champions that I've been saving up. So I'm okay with that. And then we have remnant summons. We have 6. Let's see what we can get. Right? The void legendaries or the void epics will be better if we can get them. Now, this is probably a poor use of remnant summons. I'm sure someone's like, why are you doing this? There's better times, but it's a lot of free points right now, and it allows me to save some sacred shards. So no void epics though, which would have been pretty awesome to speed up the points there. But yeah, 15 is just a lower number than I would have wanted to have been at. So with all of those summons, we're at 1750. So that should be 3 sacreds. Oh, wow. Right. Oh my God. Oh, what are the odds? Like what? Where is that luck? I mean, the free-to-play has Newt, so it's not terrible. That's kind of not good for me because I don't think I need a 3rd Newt. I want to be very clear about that. I don't think 3 Newts is going to do a whole lot for me. I'm not worried about building 3 Newts on my main account. But I can't do faction guardians with it. I'm sure a lot of you are like so mad right now. How dare you pull a Newt that you're not going to use, Roadblock? Oh man, that's funny. That is too funny. That puts me right at 2,500. So I get exactly what I need off of that. And I've got an extra Newt hanging around that hopefully whenever I pull another Molly or a champion along those lines to fill out my faction guardians for the dwarves, then I'll be able to +1 my better Newt. But wow, what a pull though. What a monster pull. And I have Hilvi, and I've got went through a bunch of remnant summons that turned into be absolutely nothing. So cool. Now that's not the remnant summons, by the way. I think they do have a mercy 24 times. Yeah, so we should be starting to generate that mercy at the very, very least. So yeah, okay, not too bad. That was 1 sacred shard on this account. That's 14. That's enough theoretically for 2 summon rushes, although the second summon rush will probably require far more to get all 50 points. So, but we're not done. The video is not over. And so for those of you that stuck around, you are going to get a little bit more from this video because I wanted to talk about the coalition event as well. So right now I'm at 1,300 points. My goal is 1,000 a day. I know we're about to get a multiplier and all that. I'm trying to get around 1,000 points a day because the last time I did the coalition event, I did not get the max reward at the end. I fell short of that by a little bit, and I don't want that to happen again. So for the coalition event, I am going to be pushing and repeating these freaking quests as many times as I can to get extra points. And obviously there's points down here, but these are finite, right? We're going to run out of them, and I'm trying to do these in a way that makes sense, that I'm not hurting my, like, I don't want to do certain events out of order, if you will, right? Or outside of a reason to do them. So, for example, crafting 50 artifacts in the forge. Well, we're going to have CVC, a personal reward CVC. That's a great time to craft those artifacts. So yeah, that's kind of my focus is just taking my time to do these. I have done some of them. Obviously, I can't do certain ones right now. Live Arena, I'll do another time. I've been doing the Shogun one. Though doing the Shogun one makes sense now because I need to do energy in non-gear dungeons anyways. But I'm taking this very seriously. I was very nonchalant about it before, but I'm taking it very seriously because I want to generate 1,000 points a day so I don't screw this up. Now, if my math was correct, at the time that I started doing the event, which I think was a day later than most people, I needed 650 points a day. But my goal is 1,000 so that I just don't screw it up. So that is my plan. And that's before including any of the multipliers. So I feel like those numbers are going to go down as I progress. But as long as I'm doing 1,000 points a day, I know I won't fail. And if you're wondering, like, well, 1,000 points a day, that's impossible. I mean, we've only been doing it for how many days? And we've got 32,000, people are doing tens of thousands of points. So pretty sure I can, obviously I'm not putting money into it, but I've got 6,500 gems. I think that I'll be okay. So that's where we're at. We have seven sacred shards. Hopefully Clan Boss is nice to me and catches us up on some of those sacred shards so we can get back into the rhythm and hopefully do both of those future summon events. But you got to admit, what did I pull? 4 sacreds? That's not bad for this type of event. So yes, I could have used other shards, but I'm happy with my results. We got a legendary, and despite the fact that I'm not happy about the legendary, there is always an upside, and that upside is that my demons are now just a little bit stronger. So can't be upset at that. But yeah, okay, we will call it a video now for sure. Thank you guys for watching. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. It's the best way to support the channel, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Take care.